Hello everybody, welcome to another Kerfuffle webinar, and I am delighted to have with me today the guys from CCT. Gordon, Christian, how the devil have you, sirs? You okay?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Excellent, excellent. You didn't get the memo, did you, Gordon? Where's the cap?
Yeah, no, that's this full head of hair. I just wanted to show it off, you know what I mean?
Were you caught between, do I wear the Kerfuffle one or do I wear the C? Was it just split loyalties? You didn't know what to do?
That's exactly it. I wasn't sure which one to wear.
Excellent. And how are you, Christian? You okay?
I'm very good, thank you. Still COVID-free, so
well, that's
a positive.
Small mercies. That's exactly right. Okay, really good. And you're joining us from sunny Scandinavia, I believe, today.
Yes, I am in Sweden right now. Escaped from the US where I used to live. So,
actually, no. I was going to say if there was a time to get out of America, it was a few weeks back. But hopefully, it looks like being a bit more sensible about it again now. Anyway, let's not let this descend into a political conversation because I'll go off for, as you know, hours and days. Guys, I know about you but I want you to talk to me today as if obviously we're introducing you to many of the people here won't know about CCT. So, you know, proper Janet and John stuff there. Don't feel that I know anything because I think it's such a big subject. Sometimes we can assume that everybody knows, don't we? And in that way, they'll probably miss out on some of the key elements of what your service is all about. And I think it's just such a vitally important area. Facebook being the absolute dominant beast that it is, many agents will be absolutely starkly aware of the audience that is there and what can be achieved. I think it's fair to say many of them are dabbling at it at the moment, but you guys have systematically thought about a way to leverage and get best ROI, I think is probably the simplest way, isn't it, from that particular platform?
Yeah, for sure.
Good. So today's title is just very succinctly, how to get the best from social media for the real estate market. So talk us just through, if you don't mind, again, I don't know if you want to just do Christian. It is a Scandinavian country. I think it was 2012 you were formed. So
yeah, even 2011 even, but
okay.
yeah.
So really important to point out that although you're relatively new to the UK marketplace, actually this is a company that's been bred and built on and is way beyond minimum viable product stage. This is a very mature product delivering for many other agents around the world, isn't it?
Yeah, we are actually now working and having clients in 18 different countries worldwide. So we are in quite a few parts of the world: Asia, Australia, US, Europe. And you know, the strong position we have, especially in the Scandinavian market where it all started, has helped us, you know, grow throughout the world. And I think that, you know, quality in the technology is the utmost importance these days, because there's been a hell of a lot of products out there which claiming the same things. And but we have, as you said, been working, you know, pretty steadily since 2011. Long before even Facebook and the social media was such a powerhouse that it is today. You know, the only thing we wanted is to enable agents and the industry itself to utilize as much as the technology out there as possible in a very simple way and get, you know, results based on it. You know, without results, we are worth zero, zip, nothing. So we are, you know, our existence is basically that we deliver every day, every campaign, and, you know, for every client. And
the wonderful thing there, Christian, is, you know, many businesses are results based, but by definition is the wonderful thing about your solution is you happily just have to stand behind those figures, don't you? And it's not like many of the services, and dare I say it, a lot of the marketing services before they became digitized, you know, it was pretty much a finger in the air, wasn't it, as to whether it was working. Now you can really track almost down to last pound and penny, can't you, where your investment is going?
That's spot on. And, you know, I'm formerly in the traditional marketing space. And, you know, every time it didn't work, we just say it's going to work in the long run. So just keep patient. And we didn't really know, right? But these days, we are up for exams more or less every minute of the campaign. And if it doesn't work, it's transparent. Everybody can see it doesn't work. But if it do work, it really can change businesses and change, you know, everything around how to do it. And it is about time that some kind of disruptive technology is entering the space of real estate, to be honest.
So give us the sort of elevator pitch then, what the core proposition from CCT is in terms of the service it provides for agents on obviously on Facebook and social media.
If I'm going to answer that, I'm going to do it super simple. It is about finding the right buyer with the right message for the right amount of money spent. So it's all about timing, it's all about targeting, it's all about precision, and utilizing the vast, intelligence and the advanced, technology that is in the platforms like in Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. It is about utilizing that and having as low threshold as possible to use it, because we know that if it's not easy to use, it won't be used.
Yeah.
So they need to be very, very simplified. And that's part of our DNA, is to be within the ecosystem that the agents are working in already and be an implemented part of that. And that makes it, usable and also used. So it is about, getting them as much as you can, capitalize the ROI as much as you can by your pound spent in marketing, really.
Okay, great. So, and why do you think that social and digital is so important to agents?
I'm not going to take over for the Scottish guy, but I'm just having one comment on this, and that's, during this pandemic, it's been quite obvious how important, the digital space is. We're all sitting at home, somebody with, kitchen cabinets behind them and some with treadmills. And it's, it is what it is, and people are more and more digital, and we are using more and more time on the digital space. But that is also offering some big, big challenges, because there's a lot of shitty products out there. Mm. And if you do this in the wrong way, you are damaging more than you are gaining. And I think that, people need to be aware of that, because it's so, so important that while the digital space is getting more and more, important, it's so important that you really have a good tech supporting what you are trying to say and how you're trying to reach people. So I think that, honestly, I'm not going to be a little bit, any disrespectful of the industry, but I think that during the last 20 years, the industry itself has given away their power. They've given it away to portals. Mm-hmm. They are taking really the piss out of them, because they're collecting the data, and then they are, invoicing them, high numbers of money to have a website with those data on, which they own. So inventory that they were supposed to empower and use themselves, the industry is just given away, and they're giving away for free. And at the other end, having to pay to use those kind of data. We're trying to change that all around, empower the agents, empower the businesses to keep their own data, and try to be as precise and targeted as possible towards existing clients, potential clients, and the whole market as itself. And I think it's it's forcing itself a little bit now, because we're always talking about the new generations, but people are always now expecting to get things more or less served on the silver platter, and based on their behavior, based on their interest and everything like that digitally. And they are not going as often as we saw previously into the portal, doing the work themselves, and literally using a technology from back in the 90s. Or late 90s. It hasn't changed much, and I think that change is the turning point of the digital era. And I think that the before it was good enough for companies just to have a technology. Now I think the decision is to have a technology that really works, and that's, I think, where we are. And based on, as you said, we are a pretty mature company, almost running 10 years now in this space. And having AI, which you do have, and not just claiming to say we do have it, that is a big, big difference to the results. That's why people are pretty astonished over the results we are getting to them, or giving them. But at the same time, it's difficult to explain that before they really try it. And as you Englishman says, they need to see the proof in the pudding. Yeah. And that's what we are out there for now, getting more people in the UK to try this, assess it for themselves.
Yeah.
No pressure, no sales pitch. Just try it out, see what you gain out of it. If you're happy, continue with us. If you're not happy, ask it to piss off. Is it easy as that?
Well, obviously, you're
And
looking at a man who knows, who's had experience of far too much pudding as well here. But the one thing, I mean, when I understood this in terms of obviously the way that you present the adverts back to people, and there was a moment where I understood the way that your AI works in terms of continually looking for like-minded audiences and which advert is the right one. It struck me that it was like a benign Cambridge Analytica, trying to do the right thing in terms of using that machine learning essentially to present exactly the right advert for the right audience, and because of that, you're getting higher click-through rates. And my understanding is that if you are more relevant, then your pricing for adverts on Facebook drops, doesn't it? So it's just win-win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, Simon, so on that piece about the importance of digital, it gives the agents that we work with, it empowers them to speak to the right people, like you said, because everyone is on social media now in one form or another. In the UK, the average user is spending 2.5 hours a day on social, right? So there's a great opportunity for us to speak to them. And the thing is, when people are using social, they're actually logged into the platforms themselves. So by using our AI to interrogate that in real time on a minute by minute basis, we can ensure we are targeting, because we know who they are, the people that are most relevant to that particular message. So we ensure that the pound spent is being maximised at every opportunity.
Yeah, that's a fascinating angle for it, and so that's one of the key elements where you're different, isn't it? Are there any other distinct areas where you differ from these other players? Because I mean, I think you're quite right. A lot of people have seen, they've been attracted to the dare I say, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that Facebook potentially offers up, but they've often found the wrong partner, or they've, like many times, if you don't have the expertise yourself, yeah, you're gonna have a pretty poor experience, and unfortunately, that's left people disillusioned with it, isn't it? And that's it's a really difficult thing to try and then get them engaged again, isn't it? Because they feel like they've given it a go, and for whatever reason, it's not worked right for them.
Yeah, it's about the tools then to do the job, right? So,
but I think that, Simon, is so completely spot on, because they are so disappointed of the performance using the wrong technologies. I won't even call them technologies, but wrong solutions, and then they are losing belief and faith in the channels itself. Yeah. And it's not the channel's fault. It's about the technology and the tools that you are using. And that's why, even Facebook had a benchmarking test with us, and we were measured to utilize 96.7% of their 100% potential based on the data points and such. And our competitors are struggling to, cross the 5% line. So it's like two different worlds. But to be super honest with you, our challenge up until now, we have had, we are working in 18 countries, so it's not that it's a failure, but our challenge is always about trying to explain such an advanced technology in a layman way so people understand it and don't fall off and don't, this algorithm thing and those AI, okay, I've listened to you, blah, blah, blah. Everybody else says the same thing. That you guys, they claim they have the same thing, and they are honestly not able to assess if they have. So they are always then, and not always, but some people are then choosing a cheap way out, and just, so they can tell the clients that they have something. Nevertheless, don't bother with if it's working or not, but okay, we have something. But what they are forgetting in that picture is that it's not working. That's the least problem you have. But what kind of damage it can do to a brand that you have tried to build up through years and sometimes centuries. It is about, having unqualified, untargeted communication to people that get annoyed and feel like this is spamming them. That is the most important, danger they have. Not that it's not working and that they're throwing out the pound bills out the window. That's the small part of it. Yeah. And, some of these technologies, I would rather rent the helicopter, drop £100 bills with a phone number on it. And I think that will give them better ROI than using some kind of these technologies. That would at least be pretty fun.
That's basically the kerfuffle model. So thanks for. I think that's really important, and yet it needs to be said straight up. You are a Facebook partner, aren't you? So you do work closely with them to obviously leverage the best. So it's not like you're working cleverly in the background. You're working hand in glove with their experts to make sure that they, that your clients will ultimately benefit.
Absolutely, and for us, it's more or less an hygiene factor to it, because we need to do, that's like, of course we are, but it's not a sales argument for us, because we take that as a, granted that we are in that level. But I also think that, it is about, people just being open, trying out stuff and trying us. And we do this for, being a member of the Kerfuffle family. We will, of course, try to make things happen for them. Yes. And this ain't supposed to cost them a shitload of money to assess it. It's about testing it out, see if it works, and then, making it a part of their ecosystem. And I think that is, we also, in our little bit of a retrospective, we need to see that we've been more into how advanced we're building the technology than we were into how to communicate it. So it has been a little bit gap that we're trying now to solve. So the last few months during, this horrific pandemic times, we've been focusing extremely on developing new tools, solutions, and features that are gaining the agents in their everyday life and make it a lot easier to work. So now, literally, instead of using like 2-3 minutes and ordering a campaign, is literally a click of a button, and you can even get it fully automated. We also do deliver different feature products, like, how to utilize the data you're getting, how you can present that to potential new vendors, how you can win those listings, how you can really grow your business and your revenue. So, our slogan is AI for growing your business. It's all about joining our clients in the journey of growing. And if we are not, together with those clients and growing with them, I think that we are not doing our job. Yeah. And it's combining the big, strong craftsmanship that it is to be an agent, free time that the agent can do what it's best to do, talk to clients and negotiate and use the skill set that they have, and forget about the technology part. And we will bring, clients into the shop, and then they can have, every ounce of energy they can use that on handling the clients the best. So that's where we are today. So we also need to see that we can do things better, and I think we have done that quite a bit now the last 6-7 months in order to.
Well, excellent. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us today, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Appreciate it. See you later, Simon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
All the best. Thanks again.